Good morning. Happy April 8th, 2025. Coming to you from the hill that leads down to Governor Beach in St. Barts. Annie, Emmy, and I, one person, two names. We drive all the way to the bottom. We park in the parking spot next to the beach, get ourselves arranged. I'm semi-wrecking it. I've got a backpack, but I'm not fully weighted down, probably 5 pounds worth of stuff. My athletic greens is in there. And we hike to the top of the hill. It took us this morning, it took us 30 minutes approximately, just over a mile, going like 22, 23 miles, minute miles. And it takes us into today's topic, which is building habits, both at home and on holiday, on vacation, when you're away from home. And lots of examples. I think I would start at the core that it's really about making or choosing to have an identity, which includes this component that you're going after. So for me, it's longevity, mission statement saying I want to be surfing when I'm 80, and I do and work to tweak and change and influence my life as incremental as possible. Being on vacation and us taking the time to walk a mile plus up the hill and then a mile plus down the hill to stress our body, to increase blood flow, to clean out our heads. And we do this as part of our daily habit. When we're at home, I play the videos, of not only my coffee in the morning, but I also talk about our walks. We go for about a 3-mile walk at home. So this isn't exactly the same distance, but it's a huge hill. So I'll show you some of the hill. And I think the hill does have an influence on speed and, affects things like Emmy's knee and things like that. But anyways, back to the topic. We do this as a way to stress our bodies, to put us into good habits, and we identify as walkers and healthy people. In addition, I talked about coffee. So I have a daily habit of making a cup of coffee in the morning and appreciating and practicing gratitude at that time. So it's a ritual, it's a habit. It's a habit so much that I have a portable blender that runs on batteries, Roach, that I use to maintain the ability to have the daily habit and the daily ritual, even when traveling. I've had TSA take it away because they were afraid of the 1-inch blades. Shout out TSA. But it's a habit, so I bring all ingredients and I travel with all ingredients, and I'm able to fulfill that habit every day. I think Black Rifle Coffee guys, Evan, I think you'd appreciate it. I identify as a coffee drinker. I use it for my morning meditation, going through just the habit of gratitude. I'm grateful for waking up in the morning. I'm grateful for the ability to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful for 10 grandkids, 7 kids, a wife that loves me, and that I slept in a great bed. So I think it's the simple things and boiling it down to those kind of daily gratitudes that allow me and basically push me to maintain habits and consistency. So we've talked about this before, but consistency, daily. You miss something, get back on the horse the next day. Get back on the horse as soon as you realize you've fallen off the horse. I mean, there's value in that in all aspects of your life. I think that the daily exercise, I think the maintaining of a consistent routine from a perspective of meditation and watching anxiety, depression, things of that nature through exercise, maintaining through exercise. As I said, meditation, gratitude. And a lot of people are like, hey, yeah, he's just a really happy guy who always wants to be happy. No, gratitude is manifesting and believing in the ability for a positive outcome. If you're wanting to go to that point over there, if I walk the other direction, there's no chance that I'm going to get there. So gratitude is, I'm grateful for this opportunity today. I'm walking towards this goal. I'm believing in this, and I'm heading that direction. And if something in life gets in the way, and you pivot or something happens, then you adapt and you move on and you just continue. So I think, if it requires you to put it on your calendar, if it requires you to post about it, if it requires you to call a friend from a accountability perspective, hey, I'm going to do this habit, this is what I'm doing. I did it with my Circumference of the Earth walk. I had a whole bunch of people in my family and friends that were watching and checking in. My mom was checking every day. She'd reach out, hey, because we were connected. Don't look like you've walked today. Mom, I'm on an airplane. I'll get there later. But the accountability was great. I knew that if I ever was worried that I was not going to get to my daily goal, that I had my mom or someone there that was going to reach out and verify. So accountability partners, put it on your calendar, write it down. Some people who are very competitive, a lot of people that I'm friends with are very competitive, make a contest out of it. In the early days of Fitbit, I would do like the work week hustle and other things that would allow me to use the gamification to remain consistent and to do things of that nature. So being able to do that from gamification, we daily dads. So Ryan, we started to do some contests where we would screenshot whatever application, so it wasn't forced to be Fitbit only, but we would screenshot every day. We did contests to make sure that everybody had their opportunity to walk, and we got points for walking, and we ended up walking and doing the dietary one next. And so accountability, gamification, having your friends and people know what your goal are. What's interesting is you'll see that people that are interested in that sort of growth will tend to gravitate towards you, so you'll make friends you didn't know. And some of kind of the NFT common communities out there that you see where people just sort of are naturally gravitate, there's a gravitation to pull those like-minded people together. Blaze RN on Blaze on Fox News, or Blaze on X News. Blaze on X News, sorry. Trying not to get run over by the truck. I have a little bit of anxiety there. I'm gonna stand off to the side here for a little bit. I've gone quite a ways ahead of Emmy, but I'll pause here for a second. I think boring, accountable, measurable, deliverable. Like, hey, I want to climb Mount Everest. Next month is probably not an achievable goal. Hey, I want to climb Mount Everest by the time that I turn 60 years old, as a long-term goal. And I'm going to look for ways to put short-term goals in there to do that. So setting up goals, changing your identity, as I said earlier. So identifying is what you want to measure. So if you want to be a healthier person, identify as a healthier person. What are the things that you would do as a healthier person? They say dress for the job you want, not the one you have. So what would you do? What kind of things would you want to do? What kind of food would you want to eat? What kind of clothes would you want to wear? What kind of identity would you like to have? And sort of grow and look to do that as daily habits. And that can be, as I said, through those methods before. Trying to think if there's anything else that's left. Gramps does actually try to think through these things, and I think this has been a long segment. So I appreciate you listening to these. I'd love for anyone that's taking the time to watch this, especially to this point. We're early in this process. We're trying to get the positive vibes out there through the communities and people that we know, and we'd love for any friends, family, and people that are listening and following to suggest, retweet, reshare what you can to help us to spread the word. Lead with love. Thanks, Ronnie. Appreciate you. I'm just over halfway down the hill, and we're going to go skinny dipping in the ocean. Go out and touch some grass. Gramps. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Not sure where this video will find you. April 11th, 2025. 53rd birthday today. Full of gratitude. Went on a hike. Got to play in the pools. Lots of pictures. And touching on the subject of this topic, walking away from digital life, reconnecting with the physical world. I've talked about in past podcasts, Wi-Fi only vacations. That's what we're doing now. I don't have a network connection. I'm just taking a video and I'll upload it later for Ronnie. But we go to Wi-Fi only so that we have actual accessibility to the camera, notes, things like that. I go to look at the prompts that Ronnie had set up for me for the vacation. And I can use it, take the recordings and use my device without having constant alerts or acknowledgements or things from outside folks, and forcing me to be a part of nature. I am making the long walk out to the beach right now, and I think there's some people catching up on me. So if anybody does catch up, I'll pull over and keep talking. So we walk a lot while we're here on vacation. 15,000, I think, steps for Annie, and I'm somewhere between 22 and 25,000. I walk a lot more on the beach. We do Wi-Fi only vacations to get away from digital, to not be connected, to be able to be with each other, and to bring balance back to not being in the digital world. Being connected, being grounded. I spend time here on vacation grounding. No electronics, just sitting in the sand. And I think it's important for all of us to reconnect. Talk a lot about Wi-Fi only vacations. Hey, Rob, Gramps. How do I do this at home? Big hill, heavy bag. I do this for Annie and myself. I will, and I didn't do a test video, and I am in a windy place, so Ronnie, this could be the worst part of it. When I'm at home, excuse me, and I want to get away and show Annie and Sunshine and anybody else that I'm with that they're important, we'll go for a walk and I'll leave my device at home. I don't take my earbuds a lot of times when we go in the mornings, unless I'm gonna have a phone call or we're going late for some reason. There's always an edge case. But when I want to do what this topic is, which is disconnect, I just put my phone on the counter. I'll cover the other camera on the other side so it doesn't know I'm leaving it. I'm half joking, half truthful. And we'll go for a walk. And we'll find ourselves going like, hey, when is this? And we'll be looking for the calendar. or we want to ask a question, or we want to Google something, or, we do use the device for a lot of good things. And we see the good things that we miss out on when we don't have it with us. But at the same time, it allows us really to be present with each other. And so disconnecting from your digital life is very, very important, even when at home. So go for a walk and leave your device at home. Go to the grocery store and leave your device at home. Spend the day without your device. I don't know if you can turn them off, but turn it off, put it in the drawer. Tell all your peeps that you're, important to, hey, I'm taking a digital day off and I'm not going to answer my phone and I'm not going to respond and I'm okay. That way, any of the helicopter friends, family, parents, people that may have a problem with it will at least have an, advice or idea that you're taking a break. I think it's important to, touch people, be around other people, not use the tools, for the bonus reasons, but, for the other side where, you won't intermingle. I know people that'll be at home for days, and I don't think that's healthy. I think you need to go outside every day. It's one of the things I would say is on my list of why walking is really great. I've done walking on treadmills, but the walking that really makes me happy and does make a difference in my life is walking outside, feeling the weather, feeling the pressure change, smelling the rain, being a part of nature, seeing birds, seeing squirrels, seeing the trees, blossoms, all that kind of stuff. And it's all important. It gets you away. And I think the digital world has this opportunity to continuously hit your adrenal glands and your other, pleasure centers in your brain. And I think it's good for you to disconnect from that. So another example, one day this week, it's Friday now, my birthday, one day this week, I think it was Tuesday, I left my phone back at the Airbnb and I was uploading a video for Ronnie, and I spent the day at the beach about 4 hours with nothing. Just walking. I walked 4.5 miles with the wind. I thought a lot about We Would Love brands and where I'd like to be in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, and how to make this more, interesting and better. I hope that you guys like to hear stories. Love some feedback. Have many friends, family, and people in my life over the years that have said that this would be a good thing for me to do, and so I'm doing it, and maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm doing it right. It's been a lot of fun. It's been great to connect with a lot of friends. So I've used the digital technology to sort of go the other way. I'm really leaning into the tool and had the opportunity to have about 13 or 14 different humans that I've had relationships with for a number of years, including one kid so far, and been able to have, a 30 to 45 minute conversation and talk about a bunch of, different topics around longevity and health and how to be better. I think that's my ultimate goal, is to have daily incremental improvement in, using most recently the Mel Robbins Let Them, I think in the parentheses, Let Me, to where it's really expanding upon one of the pieces of life goal that I've learned in my last 10-year transition and growth is, your opinion of me is none of my business. I usually use a French word or two in there, but the point is, you're not responsible, nor will I allow you to be capable of being responsible for how I feel about myself, how I feel about you, how I feel about the world, how I feel. I feel how I want to feel, and I think everyone on here has that opportunity. Now, I think you can go a little too far with some of the sort of safe space. I think everybody needs to feel and everybody needs to go through, and yes, we want camaraderie and we want a co-pilot and we want group and other people to be there to help make sure that we can get through it, and we do need to go through it. We need to experience life. We need to gain wisdom through bruises and broken hearts and lost friendships and gained friendships and loss and found, and new friendships and new experiences. And I think in some of the things I've listened to, I think Mel talked about this as well. We grow up in a certain way. We think our friends are a certain way because we're sheeped through life with all the people in our same age group, and they call it school. And then all of a sudden we scatter, and a lot of us think that that's how friendship works. And friends are, they're like your muscles. They're like your mentality. Everything that you work on and give effort has the potential to grow and to get better. So back to the beginning, because I'm trying to keep these about 10 minutes. Try to disconnect if you can. Daily is optimum. Vacations once or twice a year, more often, is even better. To disconnect, go hiking, go to Wi-Fi vacations, go to a place where there is a network and turn your Wi-Fi only on. Turn off your cellular network. It's really easy to do. Airplane mode. Everybody's heard of airplane mode. And you can airplane your mode into, a 15-minute break from the serotonin and other things that you're getting out of your digital life, and try to go for a walk. Invite a friend to go for a walk. Invite a friend or family or somebody you haven't seen in a while to go for a walk. And if you can't go for a walk with somebody where you can touch their skin, go for a walk like this. I do this on a weekly basis, Wednesdays. Shameless plug, Second Lap, produced by Run West Media, Ronnie. And I know there's more people I should be tagging, but we're on Wednesdays and we talk to ourselves and we talk to other people, and we're looking to just continue to grow and be the best humans that we can. So I appreciate you watching this. I hope the sound wasn't too bad. I'm going to walk down the beach and hug my wife and enjoy the rest of my birthday. And I love everyone that's taken the opportunity to watch this video and reach out. Want to be on the podcast? Send me a message. Reach out to Ronnie. Second Lab Podcast. He's running all the socials. Lead with love. Gramps. Happy April 11th. Lean forward and hug a human.